Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tell Me Why, the program for American Airlines team members. It talks about the why behind the news, information, everything that's happening at American. My name is Ron DeFeo, working global engagement here at the airline. And special guest today, CEO of U.S. Travel Association, Geoff Freeman. Geoff, how are you?
I'm great. It's good to be with you.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about why you're here in a second. Big week here. But this vodcast, largely for our team members. And some of them are up to speed on everything USTA does. Others don't. Can you just talk a little bit about the work that your organization does?
Gladly. Before I do that, I just want to comment. Here in the American Airlines headquarters, this building is beautiful. We'll get into it. We've brought another number of other industry leaders in over the past day or so. They're blown away by this building, the energy in the building. It's a fantastic place to come to work. The U.S. Travel Association represents the totality of the travel industry. Airlines, hotels, theme parks, rental car companies, and every destination from coast to coast. You can imagine when you represent a body that wide and diverse, there isn't a whole heck of a lot they all agree on. But the one thing they do agree on is we want to increase travel. What can we do to increase travel? So for us, that means how do we remove the frictions in the travel experience? Years ago, as an organization, we drove the creation of TSA PreCheck as a means of improving the process for travelers. How do we remove barriers for international travelers that want to come in? Our job is to create demand so American can fight with its competitors to service that demand and obviously grow in the process. We've had great success over the years. We've got a lot of work ahead of us in the years ahead.
It's fantastic. And so as you look at the whole ecosystem, airlines, anything specific on the role, that we play on this, what you look for from us and how we can help you, get things done?
I mentioned all these different aspects of the travel industry: hotel, theme parks, cruise lines, rental car companies. But let's face it, when people think of travel, they think of airlines. Airlines really are the linchpin of the industry. It's a partnership we need to have. We're excited to further integrate airlines and the rest of the travel industry, really working together to solve problems on behalf of travelers. That's what we're here to do. There's other organizations that represent just airlines and focus on operational issues. We're here to really focus on how do we improve the travel experience. Airlines being a part of that discussion are absolutely fantastic. Bring in insight, bring experiences that the rest of us aren't familiar with, a real understanding of why some things are the way they are. That makes us smarter. It makes us more capable of getting out there and doing what we need to do. But from Robert Isom down to others in the organization, great champions, partnering with others in the industry, joining us on Capitol Hill, meeting with cabinet secretaries, moving the needle on really important issues. That's what Americans helping us do right now, and we're grateful for it.
And I got a chance to sit in on, you had the meeting here for a couple of days at Skyview. Got to sit in on some of the sessions. I heard you talk a little about the decade to come as it comes to sports. Can you talk a little bit about that? Is the U.S. ready for all the sporting events that are going to happen over the next decade, and how can we help?
Absolutely. The meeting you referenced, we had more than 20 industry CEOs here over the past 24 hours, Hilton, MGM Resorts, Disney, all talking about how we work together to meet the demand that's out there. People want to come to the United States, but they're not always able to come to the United States. That's going to be tested over the next decade. We've got the World Cup in 26, we've got the Summer Olympics in 28, the Rugby World Cup, we've got the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, right? There's a decade of sports ahead. The World Cup alone, if we manage it right, will drive 8 million visitors in 1 month to the United States. But to manage that right, you've got to make sure you've got the right infrastructure in place. You've addressed visa issues, you've addressed customs issues. And on those two fronts, we've got a lot of work to do. If you're in Colombia right now, the wait time to get an interview for a visa is 711 days.
Wow.
What that means is if you're in Colombia right now and don't have a visa, you're not coming to the World Cup in 2026. Right. Yeah. That's embarrassing. Right, these are people that want to come here, spend their money, and go home with a better impression of the United States, and we're making it too hard to get in. As many of your own employees know, the situation at Customs and Border Protection at airports, oftentimes travelers are waiting 2-3 hours to clear customs. We've got to find better ways to do these things, improve the process. You guys have launched some great new digital tools. How do we get government to look at what American and others are doing and integrate some of those same tools into what they do?
That's great. We could talk all day about a litany of issues. One that I know it's important to us, important to you and everyone kind of in USTA, travel rewards. What's your perspective on the importance of miles, points, and the like, and how it all fits into the whole travel ecosystem?
Well, it's interesting. The travel experience in some ways has been gamified, right? We're all trying to collect our points. We're trying to do it with airlines. We're trying to do it with hotels. We're trying to do it with other segments of the travel experience. It's critical, right? It's critical that people feel that they're getting something and they have the power to redeem those things in the future. I'm worried because we have people both in Washington and in other parts of the industry who are somehow trying to attack these programs, who are thinking that these programs need some deep level of review. Heck, maybe there is some review someday that needs to be done, but let's face it, we've got higher priorities than travel rewards programs. We've got an FAA or an air traffic control system with 3,000 fewer air traffic controllers than it needs. We've got delays and cancellations caused by a lack of technology that's been invested in the system. My point of view in general is these reward programs are working well. 90% of travelers love them. Right. Let's focus our energy where the real problems are. I've heard a lot about the need to address traveler concerns with air travel. I agree. So let's fix delays and cancellations. Let's staff the FAA appropriately. Let's make sure we're giving the traveler the world-class travel technology and experience that they deserve.
That's great. Great perspective. Hopefully, like I said, this program really for our team members. Hopefully this conversation piqued a little interest with our team, and they might want to know, hey, where can I learn, find out more about what USTA is doing on a regular basis? How can they do that?
Please do. You can check us out at ustravel.org. Very easy. We're also on Twitter. We're on LinkedIn. Very easy to find, the U.S. Travel Association. We'd appreciate the support. One thing we know is really important is if we want to address some of these issues, we need to connect with the grassroots of the industry, the people who are on the front lines. So many of them work with American Airlines. To the extent you can come, look at our tools via those channels I mentioned, and get engaged where there's opportunities to contact members of Congress, speak to the media, meet with local representatives. We need all of these people to know how important the travel industry is and how the decisions they're making help or harm the industry that we think is so vital.
That's awesome. Thanks for being here.
Ron, my pleasure.
Hopefully highly informative. You know where we are. Tell me why. We live on JetNet. You can find us there. You can also listen outside the company, wherever you get your podcasts. And for American Airlines team members, if you have anything you want to see about, hear about, know about, we will bring an expert inside or outside the company, get them on the show and get those answers to you. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you on the next episode of Tell Me Why.